I'd like to call us to order for the work session, and I'll pass it over to Mr. Wilkes.
Thank you, Mr. McKinney. It's great to see everyone tonight. We've got a lot to talk about, and we'll all need to project because we've got a pretty good little crowd here. The air's been on all day. It's still on. It's not on 6/7, it's on 6/8. So just kind of bear with it a little bit. I know. So we not long ago had our Special Olympics, and I chose to open the work session to talk about this. We hosted our Special Olympics this year, and it was absolutely outstanding. I want to congratulate Ms. Burleson, who's over our special education department, and all of our teachers and parapros that had a lot to do along with our students on that day. But kudos to our students. They did an outstanding job, and I think they thoroughly enjoyed it. How about a round of applause for Ms. Burleson? Thank you so much, Ms. Burleson. We will begin the night with a special presentation. Chris Jobert and his dad, Jack, if you guys will make your way to the podium. There is a microphone on that podium, so you don't have to lean on it or anything of that nature there, but they've got something that they would like to present to us tonight. And yeah, kind of turn, circles, whatever. I met Jack just a couple of days ago. And he is the most interesting man in the world. He has jumped out of planes. He has played at LSU. He is a ballroom dancer. And as you're going to see in just a few moments, a tremendous artist. He's terribly talented, so there's talent in the family. And then we have CEO of Bear. That was supposed to be funny.
The talent generation.
I got to work on that delivery.
Had to go into construction.
Chris and I have gotten very close over the last couple of weeks, probably closer than he would like to admit. Chris, I've thoroughly enjoyed working with Bear Construction for the last almost 3 years now. It's been a tremendous relationship, and it's all because of leadership at the top, and we're finishing that thing strong, and we're almost there.
Yes, sir.
And
Yes,
so
sir.
thank you for everything you've done. So I'll turn it over to either one of you, and then we'll do the unveiling of the artwork. I'll get the board members to stand up on the wall. You'll give them blindfolds. Mr. Bloods will give them cigarettes. Man, it's a tough crowd. We'll line them up on the wall over there, and then we'll do the unveiling, okay?
Yes,
So
sir.
that's the last joke this evening. I promise. Go ahead.
Well, we don't. My wife and I don't live here. I'd like to introduce my wife, Suzanne, who dressed appropriately.
There you go.
And, we're from Louisiana, but we've been in South Carolina for a while, and so we're not part of your community. But I feel so much.
Just for the record.
Myself, no. I feel so much a part of you now because I've done some research, and you guys are very impressive. And it started off 3 years ago when my son was all excited about doing this athletic complex for Orange Beach. So I thought, well, okay, that sounds good. He was excited about it. But I started researching and following it as it went along and said, wow, this is really impressive. See the principals there? I feel like I know you guys. You know? And when it was finally nearing completion, my son and I were speaking and said, we really ought to do something to commemorate this because it's really historic. And what I found, I started researching what happened, and it was so interesting to see the mayor and the city council attempt to go on your own and achieve independence as a school system that has now provided so much for the community because you can make your own decisions and then go into building the things that you want to be built, making the schools the way you want them to be. It was just a beautiful thing. It was so impressive. And so I said, well, look, let's try to do something to commemorate just that. What has been achieved from starting with a vision and then going to what you have now. But the main thing that I wanted to do is to have something that not only today and tomorrow the community could see what was done to achieve this, but also generations next year, years down the road, generations down the road, to see why they say, hey, well, it's great here. The school's great, the athletic facilities are great, Yeah, but it had to start somewhere. And it was the vision and the leadership that achieved that. And so that's what we wanted to create. So we created something that we want to present to you. We'll show it to you now.
Guys, if you would, let's get on the wall so you can see.
Chairs.
Yes, if you don't mind, excuse me. Let's move the chairs up out of the way. For the unveiling. Once you guys have unveiled it, we'll come back up and we'll take a photo, okay? A couple of photos.
Real quick, as mentioned before, you mentioned leadership at the top. I want to give a special thanks to Mr. Randy Wills for all his leadership throughout this entire project. A lot of people don't understand how tough construction projects are, especially something like a $46 million, 7-building sports complex that goes on for 2 years. There's so many moving pieces, there's so many moving parts, there's so many contractors to manage, which, well, let's all be honest, nobody wants to deal with contractors. and Mr. Randy Wells put up with us for over 2 years and helped us make this a successful project. It would not have been the same project without you, Mr. Wells.
Thank you.
I really appreciate your patience, your leadership, and your guidance driving us through this. And thank you all the board members for giving us the opportunity for the business. We appreciate it. We love working with you, and we hope to work with you for many years in the future. And really glad to see what you all have done creating this whole school system on your own, like Dad said, from a vision all the way through the execution, many years of creating a top tier school system and athletic system. It's really, man, it's incredible. And it's been fun to research and fun to watch the last few years. And really enjoy getting to know a lot of y'all over the last few years, and looking forward to being a bit in this community. And thank you all very much. We're very proud of this project, obviously, as I hope you are, and I know you're very proud of this whole school system that you've created.
Thank you.
I won't mess this up.
So Jack was the artist that painted all of this. And some of you owe Jack some money because he made us look a lot younger. Incredible job. Guys, want to set it down? Board members, if you'll gather on either side, and we'll lean it forward, I think, on the easel to take our picture. Actually, that's not too bad as far as being tilted back. You think it's something like that? Jack, one more thing, if you would. Chris, I think we gave one to Bear Construction.
Yes, sir.
And on behalf, Jack, on behalf of our Board of Education and our entire school system, we wanted to give you a token of our appreciation tonight. So if you'll come in here for another photo op, stand on this side of me, please.
Wow, that is beautiful.
You might recognize that facility.
Wow.
I'll stand over here. Come right here. All right. Thank you again, sir. So
That is beautiful.
and that's Crystal.
Well, I can see.
I was corrected on that the day of. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mr. Gray.
Oh, I'm sorry. I only had one job.
It's all good. All right. Everybody ready for some financial talk after that? Just quickly, we'll run through, this will be March financials. Just to update on where we are. Revenues for March were right at $1 million, bringing year to date to 15.3, or 51% of total budget revenues for the year. March expenditures are 1.8 million, bringing year-to-date expenses to 11.6, or 41% of budget. So everything in good shape there. Key revenues, you see the fall off in ad valorem, obviously, because we're out of that season, but sales tax is actually still doing really well. Mr. Wilkes, if you'll keep going for me. Fund balance decreased $932,000 in March. Bringing the reserves to 16.6 million, or just over 8 months of expenses. And then here's your calculation for where we get monthly reserve if you dare to follow it all the way through. Basically just recapping everything that we did, just providing a little more detail. And then the final item is your heat map that we've started doing last month, just kind of giving us a general idea of where we are as a percent of budget, and then looking at KPIs. So we've had a little bit of movement in March from February, but everything's still tracking and in good shape for the year.
Any
Questions?
questions for Mr. Gray? Thank you, Mr. Gray,
Thank you.
so very much. Mr. McKinney, that concludes our work session.
Okay. I'd like to call the board meeting to order, and we will have the
All right, Maria, if you'll come up. Maria plans to attend Coastal Community College this fall, and she has thoroughly enjoyed her time at OBMHS. She was recognized in her class as being very strong academically. She's terribly dependent member of the Student Government Association. She's always willing to help out in various activities and events, and she has a super positive attitude. Maria will do her invocation tonight. Her mother, Pastor Ellie, did our first invocation ever for this Board of Education. So what an honor it is to have you tonight to be able to lead us in prayer, okay?
Hold on. Sorry, that made.
You're good.
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for the opportunity you have given us to gather here today in full health at the closure of a beautiful school year. You have blessed us with safety and fond memories, guiding us through our ups and our downs. Thank you for our supportive community and gracious leaders who have all helped us along the way towards our unique paths of success. As we close off this school year, I humbly ask you that you bless the school board and the city leaders with wisdom, discernment, clarity of mind, and patience to guide their decisions along the way and maintain the standards of our exceptional school system. Thank you for the unity of our school. I come against division for all your children as one human race. I come against corruption of the mind, and I come against those who sow seeds of discourse. Keep our schools and our community drug-free and crime-free. Thank you, for we battle not against flesh and blood, but principalities. We are the future of this nation, and may your insurmountable love and protection keep us all safe. May you keep our community joyful and safe by softening hardened hearts. May those who do not know you come to you willingly. And do not forget the class of 2026 as we part ways and emerge into a beautiful new part of life. May we maintain the Mako way and the Jesus way. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
And now we'll call the meeting to order, and we will have a pledge of allegiance.
Yes, sir. Leading our pledge tonight is London Thomas. London will be attending the University of Colorado Boulder this fall. During her time at the Middle and High School, she has been an active member of FCCLA and Student Government Association. She plays an important role in helping organize school events and brings incredible energy and school spirit to pep rallies. London, very good. London's enthusiasm, her leadership, and her involvement has made her a positive impact on our community. Shall we stand?
Stand, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
London.
Now, roll call, please.
Mr. McKinney,
Present.
Dr. Bauer,
Here.
Ms. Robinson. Here. Ms. Nix. Here. Mr. Lewis.
Here. We have a quorum. You've seen the agenda, so the chair would entertain a motion for the approval of the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign. It's unanimous. Consideration of the previous minutes. The previous minutes have been presented, and we've had a chance to review those. The chair would entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second. Have a motion and a second on the minutes. Any discussion? Seeing none, those in favor say aye. Aye. It's unanimous. Recognition of guests.
Mr. Blevins.
We'd like to welcome and recognize Mr. Matt Howard with AEA, Kristen Owens, Harper Haygood, Mr. and Mrs. Payne, Ms. Brownlee, Rachel Young, Clay Tyndall, Mallory Wilkins, Tracy Bishop, Abby Bauer, and Brandy and Celie Lewis. Welcome. Welcome all.
Did we have anyone sign up for public comments? Seeing none, announcements. Mr. Wilkes.
All right, we were going to have a presentation by Senator Chris Elliott. He called and had other obligations come up today, so he could not be here. But I want to inform you that he has, through the Community Service Grant System, he is going to award, and will actually get it this fall, a grant to our school system in the amount of $91,666.67. So thank you, Chris Elliott, for all that you do for public education across the state of Alabama, but especially for what he does here in Orange Beach. He has done so much for us over the last couple of years, especially when we don't have access to the Foundation Fund program, but as all other school systems, Chris is really helping us every chance that he gets. So, guys, if you don't mind, a round of applause for Senator Elliott. All right, we've got some seniors going to come forward this time. We've got Kai Price. Kai is attending Auburn University this fall, and through his time at the Middle High School, he's served in several different leadership roles, including class president and now SGA president. He's played a major role in creating lasting traditions and helping shape the student experience through events such as Powder Puff Tournament, senior activities, Mako's on May, and ribbon cutting ceremony. Kai's leadership, school spirit, and dedication have left a lasting legacy at Orange Beach. And he is joined by Miss Carson Chase. She is attending the University of Tennessee this fall, so you won't have to change too many colors there. Throughout her time at the Middle High School, she's been a valued member of the SPA and represents our school with professionalism very much. She's very kind. She is especially known for her leadership of campus tours and welcoming future students and families to Orange Beach. In addition, she's held multiple leadership roles in honor societies and has extended her leadership beyond the campus through her involvement in the United Way. She also served as a delegate for Orange Beach at Alabama Girls Day, further demonstrating her commitment to leadership and service. Carson's positive attitude and dedication have made a lasting impact on our school and community. So, guys, tell us about senior events.
So first, we just want to give a huge thank you to each and every one of you. Y'all have made this school year possible. Y'all have made it absolutely amazing, especially for us seniors. And so without y'all's leadership, support, dedication, all of those kind of things, we would have not had this great school year. And for the classes that are upcoming, we know they're going to be in good hands. Have a great senior year because we just had an unbelievable senior year.
It's been incredible. So we want to invite y'all to the last of our celebrations. Tomorrow at 12:15, we have our awards day in the PAC. So a bunch of our seniors will be receiving their summa cum laude and those kinds of awards, and then scholarships will also be handed out tomorrow. And then our baccalaureate is on Tuesday the 19th, also in the PAC at 6. And then lastly, we look forward to seeing all of you guys at graduation on Thursday the 21st, which is at the event center. Yes, we're so excited.
Thank y'all so much for everything.
Thank
we really
you.
do appreciate it. And it would not have been possible without each and every one of you.
Thank you, guys. Round of applause for our seniors. Rhonda, Maria, if you'll come on up. 2026, a great representation of this year's class. I know you've kind of talked about a lot of exciting things that you've done, but what can you tell the board today, probably the most exciting thing that you've done this year?
I think this year, so I came into this school year really focused on just getting our class together, like getting them bonded, making it a family, more than all these separate friend groups, like bring everyone together. And I think a great way we've done that is we did Powder Puff. I know he mentioned it. That was a huge event. Everybody loved it. Everybody's been looking for it over the past few years. Really popular event. We had a huge turnout, and I think that was at the start of the year. Got everyone like excited about the rest of the year. And then with the help of Castelo, he's been a huge help through all of the main senior events they do every year, and just getting those set up, getting people excited about those. I think that's been a huge inspiration to the rest of the class to like be excited about their senior year and their last year instead of dreading these last days of school.
Very good. Londa, what's your most memorable experience this year?
I would say definitely our first pep rally. We really like brought the school spirit. I think it was like glow night
It was
or something.
like neon.
Neon, and we bought all the supplies. We gave it to our whole class. It was amazing.
Very good. And Maria, your favorite subject?
Oh, my favorite subject? I would have to say calculus for that one.
Bless you. Some of us love that. I'm a geometry guy, but we've got a calculus teacher here, and I think Mr. Castelo is somewhere in the room. There he is in the back. He is glowing. He is on fire. Why was math so much? Why was it your favorite subject?
Well, first of all, I just like being challenged, and his class was pretty confusing at times, but I eventually figured it out, you know, and he just made it really like engaging to learn and stuff.
Nice
Yeah.
word. Very good. And Carson, you've got a fantastic voice.
Thank you.
You might do something in radio, but Mr. Blevins tells me I got the face for radio. I don't really know what that means. I know. I said no more jokes. I had to do one more. Just anyhow, I'm not going to put my day job. Carson, going to Tennessee next year. What are your plans when you get there? You got any idea what you're going to major in?
I'm majoring in social work, hopefully on the pre-law track. I do plan on running for student government at Tennessee, so hopefully kind of doing the same thing, keeping my voice out there.
Yeah, nice play. Maria, what are we doing next year?
That's a great question.
No, actually, you're doing it in 2 or 3 weeks, I think.
Yeah, that's fair. I will be finishing my associate's degree in science at Coastal, and then I should be transferring to another college.
About how
to
long do
finish.
you think that might take you? Am I asking you all kind of personal questions?
Like finishing the
At
associate's
Coastal.
degree? Not too long. Should be finished by the end of the summer.
See what I'm saying? I mean, we're basically, we've got a lot of kids that have been on that track. Some have already completed, so congratulations, kiddos.
Thank you.
And London, what do you plan on doing next year?
I'm going to do international business with marketing, and then like Carson said, I hope to do student government, and then I'm also going to rush a sorority. So
Wow, where do you plan on going?
international business,
Okay,
marketing. So
all right. And that is, where will you be doing that?
Colorado Boulder.
That's right, Colorado Boulder.
Yes.
Is that, well, we'll ask that later. I'm asking you the first question. That's just a pretty good piece from here.
Yeah, my mom, she went there, and my family, we moved here about 4 years ago.
Yeah.
But we grew up in the West, so it's kind of like home in a way. But
The best thing that's moved from Colorado in a while.
And as a graduate of the biggest rival of CU, Colorado State University, it's hard for me to say go Buffaloes, but go London.
That might have been my best one tonight. Kai.
I'm going to Auburn University, so staying in Alabama. I don't know where they got the memo to get out of here, but I'm going to Auburn. I don't know what I'm majoring in yet. I think I may double major in business, maybe finance, and then also in some sort of engineering. I got to look into it, kind of get up there, kind of feel it out to really figure out what I want to do. Because at the moment, I have no idea.
Could be on the 6 or 7 year plan. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
But that's okay. That's okay. Board members, do you have any comments, any questions for our seniors?
Just real quick, it seems like this year has flown by. I feel like we were just at Mako's on Main, and you were just on that stage, and we were excited about kicking off a new year. And it's amazing how much you guys have grown just in 1 year. If I'm thinking about the next generation, you guys excite me about it. I mean, you really do. I mean, it looks like you have a vision, you know what you want to do, and you're going there 100 miles an hour. So I can't wait to see where you are in 4, 6, 8 years.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Your attitudes are greatly appreciated. Your effort is greatly appreciated. And your success is what makes us smile. So thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Your leadership will forever leave a legacy. I mean, I do obviously know some of you. Well, very long time. Yay big. But I mean, truly, like the impact that y'all have had, not just on this class, but like 10 years from now, it is huge. So thank you very much. I know it takes a lot of time and energy and effort, so we appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am.
I got the pleasure of working with them from tutoring to subbing, not substituting, but just going in and teaching some lessons in their calculus class. And these guys are smart. I'm really excited about what you're going to do, and I really look forward to following you and seeing where you go.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you all.
You guys being here today isn't luck. It's not chance. It's about you guys each being leaders in your own way. So keep it up, because the world needs more people like you, and just keep being an example for the people around you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, guys, let's get the photo. Seniors in front, board members around behind. Mr. McKinney, the only other announcement we have this evening is that of the calendar events, and I think the seniors did a pretty good job of covering theirs. There's a lot on tap, and so whatever you can make, certainly let's try to be there. That's all we've got as far as announcements.
Thank you. Let's move on to the report of the financial point.
We've got information items next. We've got one informational item. Is that on your sheet?
No.
It's in assembly.
Okay, so on assembly, it's underneath announcements, but I thought I'd move it. Just for informational purposes only, you've got the tenure list. I think this year we've got 17 employees receiving tenure. Last year we had 21, so we're growing that highly effective veteran staff. Any questions about tenure? Just really excited for those employees. Sorry.
It's okay.
Mr. Gray, would you like to come introduce our friends?
Yes. So we have with us tonight Ms. Rachel Young, Ms. Kirsten Owens, and Mr. Harper Haygood, who are with Aviso. They are responsible for our audits each year. The one that's before you is for 2025. Ms. Kirsten's going to come and kind of give you some details on the schedules. We'll talk about the annual audit. We also had to have a single audit this year because of the amount of federal funds that we received. So she'll go through both of those with you.
Hello, nice to see you all again. Like you said, my name is Kirsten Owens. I'm the audit manager. I've been over y'all's job for the past few years. And Harper Haygood, which I don't think y'all have got to meet him yet. He's a senior auditor and helped out a lot this year, so he came to show face. So first I want to thank Matt. He does a terrific job, as always, helps the audit run so smoothly, can answer every question I have. I mean, I can't brag on him enough. I know you guys have the audit in front of y'all, so if y'all want to flip with me, I'm going to hit a few high points, but if y'all have questions, just stop me. If you flip through the first couple of pages, you'll see our auditor's report. You guys received an unmodified opinion. Once again, highest opinion you can receive. No findings, no issues noted. Everything looked fantastic. If you flip a few more pages to page 3, there are a few items I want to talk about here. So your assets this year, I know y'all were talking about Bear Contractors earlier, and all of y'all's contracts, things y'all have going on. Your assets increased $30 million, and it was mainly due to all of those projects. So I didn't want y'all to see that number and be like, wow. If you go down a little bit to your liabilities, I always want to point this out. Your long-term liabilities, it shows you have $26.4 million. This is not debt. This is strictly related to the pension and the OPEB that you guys have, and I'll show you in a second. Those swung drastically again this year. And then if you flip a few more pages to page 7, this is where I always like to point everybody to really see where your revenues and expenses went. It clearly lays it out for you what you did with capital expenditures and your instructional support, things like that. You guys did have positive changes in your fund balance, so you had excess of revenues over expenditures, which is always fantastic. Then we're going to flip all the way to the back, page 29. This is just pointing out you guys had $27 million in additions this year, mostly related to your athletic complex. That's still sitting in CIP since there was still some things going on at the end of September, so next year we'll start depreciating. If you flip one more page to page 30, this is where it's going to show you the net pension liability and the OPEB. So So the OPEB this year is really what I want to talk about. It's swung almost $8 million an increase. You guys can't control that. You know, they do evaluation on it, estimate morality rates, all these different things, and then it's just passed down from the RSA. And I was reading an article the other day. Apparently they underestimated it for the past like 10 years, so just expect that to continue to increase for the next few years. And then lastly, I want to flip even further to the back. This would be page, oops, hold on. Sorry. Going far. Page 41. Yep. This is your report on the single audit. Like Matt mentioned, you guys received and expended over $1 million in federal funding. It used to be $750,000. That increased this year to $1 million. The Go Mesa grant really pushed you over that, and so you're probably going to need a single audit again next year. On that audit, you guys received an unmodified opinion. There were no findings, no question of cost. Everything looked great, and Matt and I submitted that to the Federal Audit Clearinghouse. So that is all that I had to talk about, unless you guys have any questions.
Fantastic. Thank you guys for doing the job that you did and that you do each and every year. So Matt Gray, Heather Clark, our local staff at the school level, principals and directors and coordinators. There are more than 50 various budgets in and amongst the school system, okay? And it all comes and starts and stops in one place, here in the office, okay? So kudos to everybody. Let's keep it up. Every year, zero findings, unmodified opinion. It's a great thing.
Yeah. You can thank Matt for that.
Yes. Thank you, guys.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Action items.
Right. First action item this evening is that of personnel. I recommend the approval of the following personnel recommendations. Ms. McKinney, I'll ask if there are any set-asides.
Seeing none.
So the recommendation would be for certified persons for resignation of certified employees for the 25-26 school year, a transfer recommendation of certified employees 26-27 school year, employment recommendations for certified employees for that same 26-27 school year. For classified persons, we've got retirement for the 25-26 school year, resignation for the 25-26 school year, transfer recommendations for the 26-27 school year, and employment recommendations of classified employees for the 26-27 school year.
You have had an opportunity to review those in the posting. The chair would entertain a motion.
I move to approve the superintendent's recommendations.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Action item number 2, that of Teams contracts. Superintendent recommends the approval of the following Teams contracts.
Had an opportunity to review those. The chair would entertain a motion.
So moved.
Have a motion and a second. Those in favor say aye. Aye. The motion carries.
Action item number 3, that of personnel. We make the recommendation of approval of a personnel contract that is in the link assembly.
Also had an opportunity to review these and ask questions. Chair would entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second. Those in favor of approval of the recommendation say aye.
Aye.
The motion carries unanimously.
We have one additional personnel contract, action item number 4. We have the recommendation of the approval of personnel contract that is provided in that corresponding link.
Once again, you've had an opportunity to review. You have a motion concerning the recommendation.
So moved. Second.
Have a motion and a second for approval of the recommendation. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion carries.
Action item number 5, performance contract. The superintendent recommends the approval of following performance contracts for the 26-27 school year.
Once again, you've had an opportunity to review those. I have a motion concerning the recommendation.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion carries.
Action item number 6, the superintendent recommends approval of the attached financial statements.
Also had an opportunity to review those. Do you have a motion concerning the recommendation?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Those in favor say aye. Aye. The motion carries.
Action item number 7, we have an FY26 budget amendment. The superintendent recommends approval of that budget amendment.
What's the pleasure of the board? You want to address it? Okay.
If there are any comments, you can.
Do you have questions, comments? I mean,
Get a first, second.
materially, there is.
Make a motion.
You good?
Chair will entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second.
We have some comments.
We have some comments.
So,
Mr. Gray.
I guess to follow up on the audit and on this, just to say, you know, you've got to be thankful for the people around you, and certainly our finance team at the local schools, Ms. Bailey, Ms. Petaway, and then here in the office, Ms. Clark, all do an incredible job every single day. But things like what we're doing require everyone in this organization, all the way to our local schools, our teachers, our administrators. And just like the audit, they all play a huge role in collaborating in our budgets. So super thankful for them. Probably don't get enough opportunity to tell them thanks from my seat, but what they do continues to show their dedication to stewardship, to our school system, and to the students that we serve. So thank you to all of you in the room and not in the room. All right, real quick before we start, and I will be brief, but we always kind of go through general fund, special revenue fund, capital projects fund, and I will do that. I will say capital projects fund has no adjustments in this amendment, okay? We did a really good job at the beginning of the year. We have very few adjustments. So the materiality of the adjustments that we're making are very, very small. But we need to do so to stay in compliance with state and federal regulations. So amended revenues will increase about $1 million to $25.9 million, and the special revenue fund will increase about $400,000 to $1.9 million. So again, not a lot of increase. And then on the expense side, on the general fund, it'll increase roughly $1 million. So you'll notice we're trying to balance the budget, money in, money out. Okay, that's always the goal. And then the special revenue fund is the same, $400,000, all related to the same grant. So again, not a lot of changes, definitely nothing in capital. Just know that these increases are going to provide about $130,000 increase in fund balance, okay, versus our original budget. So basically, we received a couple of grants. Those grants are going to go to fund teacher units, where at the beginning of the year we thought we would have to fund them from local money. So we came out good there. Per pupil expenditures remain constant around $20,000, $2.15 million in monthly expenses, very consistent with where we've been. And with this budget being the way that it is, we're projected to be just over 7 months in reserve. So that's all I have.
I should have asked this earlier, I apologize. This budget, does it include the proposed percentage increase for staff?
It does not.
Okay.
We are actually predicting a higher month in reserve, but for the sake of balancing the budget, that's why you see it about 7 months in reserve. But we have taken into account, when we get to the pay raise resolution, all those things, including PW increase.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Mr. Gray. I want to thank all of you for being so patient with our questions and explaining too. Thank you very much.
What we're here for. Also, kudos to you guys. I did read through this report from the auditors. And there were a lot of, I don't know if you noticed from the side comments, but there were a lot of compliments to you and the team about being able to get information quickly, working well, working productively, and just high level of confidence and professionalism. So thank you, guys.
So we have a motion and a second. Ready to vote? Any more questions? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion carries.
Action item number 8.
I recommend approval of the attached resolution implementing a 2% pay raise.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Discussion.
Would you like for me to read the resolution?
Well, yes, and maybe even some of the background.
Yeah, when the state gives a pay raise like they did to all employees, we participate in the foundation, but we don't get any funds. Attorney Campbell, did I say that correctly?
That's correct.
All right, so there is no raise next year for our employees like everybody else in the state unless the board does what they're doing tonight, because 95% of our funds come from local sources. Not all from the city, but from local sources, okay? So this resolution tonight is the equivalent of what the state has already done for everybody but Orange Beach, okay? Whereas the Orange Beach Board of Education desires to the greatest extent possible to compensate employees in a manner that correlates to the community's cost of living, thereby exceeding the state's minimum salary for board employees. And whereas this past school year, the school system demonstrated improvements in attendance, ACAP proficiency, ACT composite scores, and AP scores. That is not the year in, but last school year. And where 24-25, the city school systems placed first in science, grades 4 and 8, that's regarding ACAP, and in grades 3 through 8, second place in the state with ACAP math scores, fourth in the state, ELA, grades 3 through 8, and received the second highest school system state report card score with a 98. Whereas during the 25-26 school year, the school system received copious awards and recognitions. We ask that it be resolved this evening that the Orange Beach Board of Education commends the employees of the Board of Education for extraordinary performance during the 24 and 25 school year, and thereby grants a 2% pay raise to all employees effective October 1, 2026. Be it further resolved that this resolution be placed among the official records of the Orange Beach Board of Education.
Thank you, Mr. Wilkes. We have a motion and a second. You have questions? Any discussion? Seeing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Superintendent Wilkes recommends board approval of the linked social media policy. This is the second and final reading.
I move to accept it.
I have a motion to accept it. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. And I also concur with this, even though I didn't follow it over the last 7 days, maybe. And I will, when we pass this, I will follow this policy. Any further discussion?
I will tell you, thank you for considering all of our comments when making those. They were quite extensive at the last board meeting.
Yeah. Went right back the next day and made those adjustments, and nothing's changed since those adjustments. As I've indicated, a lot of this was procedural, and it'll move to the procedures manual. I won't finalize that. I'll share it with you when we get to that point, but I need the principals to look at it. I need the directors to look at it. Once you finally approve it, to say, okay, this is how we implement what the board's intent is via policy. So there will be procedures to come out of this. Any other questions about it? Thank you.
Seeing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion carries unanimous.
All right. Kenny, we've got the election of board officers.
Okay. The floor is open for nominations for board president.
I nominate Randy McKinney. for continued role as president.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further nominations? Seeing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity. Floor is now open for the nomination of vice president.
I would like to nominate Shannon Robinson.
Second.
Any other nominations? Seeing none, those in favor of Shannon Robinson say aye.
Aye.
The motion carries.
Thank you. I have big shoes.
Thank you. Thank you for being with us. There is a pay raise.
100%.
That's right. What, how many times you want to multiply? That's right.
We've got special recognition tonight. And kind of put this in the board packet tonight so board members could make a few comments. And I can go ahead and tell you, it's going to be difficult. There are not many people that you come in contact with in life that has such an impact, both individually, personally, and professionally. But Nelson Bauer is one of those people that's just had tremendous impact on my life, professionally and personally. And God has great plans for Nelson Bowers. Nelson Bauer, there's more than one of you tonight. I did this some point in time. Well, Chat and I did this. That's my collaborator. And I was thinking about Nelson when I typed these ideas in. And it reads simply that the impact of a leader is not determined by his height. Nelson, you're pretty tall, but you're not as tall as King Saul. You know, King Saul was head and shoulders above everyone else, but he fell out of favor with God, and he just wasn't a good leader at the end of the day. So it's got nothing to do with height. It has nothing to do with wealth. I know how much the teachers make and so forth, that you do pretty well too, but there are a lot more wealthy people. So your impact as a leader has nothing to do with wealth. You are very charismatic, though. You can work a ball field, buddy. I've seen you do that, okay? In a good way.
Okay, I hope so.
And it's not by title in which you hold. And I'm going to tell you that I think that's the most important title in this town, is to be a member of this Board of Education, because you are shaping and molding our future. So you do have that title, sir. And power, authority, you've never wielded that, sir. There's never been any division. There's never been fear. There's never been any emptiness. Would you mind hitting enter for me, please? And so I brought all this, I think, somewhat together. If you're going to be an effective leader, and leadership is just really defined by influence. Sometimes we think we're leaders, and if nobody's following us behind us, we're really not being a very effective leader. And Nelson, you've always been a person of influence for all the people sitting here on this board. And the real question is, did you make people better? Did you elevate the standards? And he did. Did you inspire to make a way? And you have. Did you challenge others to think bigger? Absolutely. Did you work hard? There was some hard work in the early days. There's still been some hard work. And a lot of you know what I'm talking about. And did you love deeper? And did you serve more faithfully? And you did all those things. So this is my last slide. You didn't think you were going to get away without your own personal slideshow tonight, did you? Hit enter one more time for me. I heard a pastor say one time when preaching from the book of Job that the greatest compliment that you could ever have was to be called a friend of God. And I believe that Nelson's certainly a friend of God. But I'd submit to you tonight that the greatest second compliment is simply this, that by being in somebody's presence, they made you a better person. You may be a better person just by 6:30 phone calls, just by hanging out at board meetings. Few people have honors in life that are greater than leaving people stronger, and wiser, and more kind, and more hopeful, simply because we walked beside you for a season. So Nelson, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Thank you for all that you've done for our school system, all that you've done for me, okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Other board members?
I mean, I have a lot to say, but I will condense it. Dale Carnegie once said, any fool can criticize, condemn, complain, and most fools do. But it takes great mental strength and emotional intelligence to bring about constructive feedback and growth. And I think if you've ever had a conversation with Nelson, you got to bring your A game, because he's so kind and he's so all of these great leader things, but he knows what he's talking about. He's going to challenge you with facts and information while also caring about what you say, and that's just an extremely rare combination. So thank you for that.
Yes, so notes. Most of you know that I was not an original board member. I did not come on board until December of the first year. And so I missed out on all the fun that they had and all the work that they did at the very beginning, which I understand was a lot. When I first came to the board, I had lots of teaching experience, had been in the classroom, had worked with all grades of kids, but I felt underqualified when it came to the business side or like all the policies and all that they had done. And so I had a lot of stupid, what I thought were stupid questions that a lot of times I was just too embarrassed to ask in front of them. But Nelson was my phone-a-friend, and I could call Nelson and ask him questions and ask him to explain things to me, and he never made me feel dumb. He was like one of those people that says, you know, there are no stupid questions, like teachers do. He's been a mentor to me. Nelson is one of the most caring people that I know. When we have hard times, he's the one that calls you and says, hey, how are you? Are you okay? He doesn't worry about himself. He's always worried about other people and how they are. He always wants what's best for students, staff, and our system. He's one of the most encouraging people that I've ever met. He always told me I was doing a good job even when I felt like I wasn't. He was always present. I mean, I go to lots of school events, from academics, arts, athletics, everything. And most of the time when I was there, Nelson was always there. One of the things that I love the most about Nelson is just his calm disposition. I tend to get a little tense and uptight sometimes, and Nelson is always just middle of the road, calm, and I always appreciated that. And then the last thing is just his integrity. One of the most honest people that I know, and I'm going to stop before I...
Fair enough. As I mentioned to the city council members recently, you know, Nelson has it all. He's got the brains, he's got the motivation, he's got the expertise, he's got the schooling, and he's got the will to lead. And so I expect we're going to see a whole lot more of Nelson. But he also, beyond all those things, he's got a great sense of humor. I mean, I've seen a ChatGPT version of Nelson in a Colonel Sanders suit, and he likes to have a good laugh. But I think also really important is in this world we live in where, you know, so many people tear each other down, Nelson builds people up, and he compliments other people regularly. You don't see that very often. So it's really a great thing to see. I'll end with something similar to what Randy said, which is I'm a big fan of the Roman Stoics, and Seneca is one of my favorite. And as a philosopher, he said, associate with people who are likely to improve you. And Nelson, you have, you do, and you will. Thank you.
I want to say that, and you and I have talked a lot, and maybe I should pay the city for some of your time. But I appreciate all those conversations, and I just want you to know that you're an incredible individual. You have a heart. And I've served with people that have the brains, but they don't have the heart. And you have the heart with the brains, and that's an awesome combination. And it has been powerful for this system. Powerful. You will be missed, but you will still be around, and we will stay in contact, and we will still exchange books. Thank you. Love you, brother.
Can I speak? I don't know.
You're not on the
I don't know.
agenda.
I'm not on the agenda. Let me get something to drink first.
You gotta get notice.
I don't know how I follow that. I mean, honestly, I'm just overwhelmed with gratitude. I really am. I can't speak without going back to the beginning. All the people in this room that are our employees, they didn't exist at that time. I mean, so just to paint a picture for you, in April of 2022, there was an announcement that Orange Beach was going to start its own school system. And they were going to separate by July 1st. And then school was going to start the month after. Think about that. So all the work to separate happened in Nash Campbell. Wow. That moment, I mean, he was the calm in the storm. And then July 1st came. We cut a ribbon. If you thought we arrived, we had not even begun. I mean, because if you think about Baldwin County, their first public school started in Tensaw in 1799. They had decades and decades and decades of systems and structures and a vision and a mission. And you cut ties with that immediately, and we didn't have anything. We didn't have employees. We didn't have the power in our name. We didn't have internet. Those are easy things. Power school. We didn't even know if we could get it in time, and it was still getting stood up. We didn't have a strategic plan. We didn't have a vision and a mission right then. But we had to develop it while we had school. Every single piece. It all happened. And it all happened because correct pieces were put in place at the right time. And in June, we hired a superintendent. And I will say that anybody else could not have put their head down and helped us build a team better than Randy Wilkes. And with board policies and everything that comes along with it. I mean, every little thing he had his hand in. And it was in such a fast-paced moment. And you know what? We took criticism at that time, and we deserved it. Because you know what? Things weren't perfect. They weren't even good when we started. And everybody expected us to be better than Baldwin County immediately. You know what? I want that. I want people to look at us and expect more. And you know what? We put our head down and we kept working. Because you know what? That criticism is what we deserved at that time because it pushed us to work harder. 3 and 4 days a week for hours on end, this board met. And they didn't meet getting paid. The paycheck was no different. It was still zero. All right? And it was. So that paints a picture, and to see the success in the short term is just overwhelming. I mean, it's overwhelming. It's putting the right pieces in the right places and letting them work. That's why when I look at the faces out there, each of you were intentionally thought of for each individual position. I mean, you can't miss when you have a small school. You just can't miss. I think about a book I read not too long ago. It's called Winning the War in Your Mind. And Lord knows I fight a lot of wars in my mind. It's by Craig Rochelle. And what he says is that your thoughts become your actions. And your actions ultimately determine where you end up, right? So our thoughts yesterday determined our actions, and that determined where we are today. But I will tell you, it doesn't stop right there. Our thoughts and our actions today determine where we're going to be in 5, 10, 20 years. And that's exciting. That's super exciting. And on that note, I think I'd be remiss if I did not recognize Clay Tyndall. I mean, I looked at his resume and everything that he brings to the table, and he is everything that this board needs. And so the city council was not wrong in them saying that he was highly qualified. He is more than highly qualified. But more than that, I got to talk to him for an extended period of time on the phone. And he has the character to be a wonderful board member. And this board up here is going to be even better in the future because Clay Tyndall's on this board. So if you would, join me in congratulating him on being on this board. This board, I'd be too long if I kept going through each individual. And there's too many things to name. But I think it's the difference between unity and uniformity. When I think of this board, I think of unity. And we don't have that in our nation. At times, we don't have that in the city. But we have that on this board. All right? We do. We have different, diverse backgrounds that come from different places. But you know what they have? They have mutual respect for each other. Mutual respect. All right? Uniformity means we want to think alike. And ultimately, it's similar to a lot of the things that I heard about myself over the last month. All right? It's not true. This board believes in each other. They believe in our mission. They believe in our vision. And they work every day trying to achieve it. And ultimately, the employees themselves are the ones that are making it happen. They are. Every single day with every interaction and every relationship. And every day they show up and do their job. I do have one message to the City Council. Just simply, is that early on, and as we get more disconnected from, and it's 4 years since we separated, I just, one of the ways that was projected verbally was that we fund the school system with 3% lodging. All right? I want them to consider memorializing that through resolution, at least 2% of that 3%. To truly go to the school system and outside of a verbal agreement. You've heard over and over again that 95% of the school system is funded with local funds. And it is. And we depend on it. And so as time goes, memories fade. And I want that to happen. That just gives the school system the footing that it deserves. And in closing, I'm going to read a section because I feel like that there's I've struggled sometimes with negativity, outside noise, things that don't seem to make sense. And I went back to a book that I read in college. It's funny, and he's an author that lives here in Orange Beach, and he's super insightful. But I'm going to read it for you real quick, just a passage, if that's okay. If I were to concern myself, and this is set the stage. This is David Ponder. This is Andy Andrews' book, The Traveler's Gift. And he has a character named David Ponder that interacts with Abraham Lincoln. All right, and Abraham Lincoln is speaking to David Ponder. He says, "If I were to concern myself with the newspaper columns that label me dishonest or stupid, if I had my feelings destroyed every time a political opponent called me an ape or buffoon, I would never be about the work for which I was born." Lincoln stood and shoved his hands in his pockets. Sooner or later, every man of character will have that character questioned. Every man of honor and courage will be faced with unjust criticism. But never forget that unjust criticism has no impact whatsoever on the truth. And the only sure way to avoid criticism is to be nothing and do nothing. And for me, it's funny, I've always had an interesting act to be able to see words on pages. Always have. And it's funny that I was able to go back to this on page 123 and 124 of this book that I read in college. But that's so true. This board has a mission. And to be the individual that you are, and to work toward that vision that has been set out, and also continue to hone that vision and move the school system in a direction that focuses on the students. And that was something Tracy Stark said early, and made sure that when we got off base with the clutter, and trust me, there's a lot of clutter, that we redirected and we focused on students. So thank you guys so much.
We're going to give you an opportunity to have any conversation you want with Nelson. We're going to recess before the executive session. So, anything else on the agenda?
You're exactly right.
So we're going to recess at this time for 10 or so minutes, and then we will have an executive session following that. So moved. Have a motion to
Second.
adjourn. Have a second. Have a second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.